Hello everyone, my name is Anushka Saxena and in this video we will read the rest of the chapter Manufacturing Industries. So let's get into the video. Mineral based industries. Industries that use minerals and metals as raw materials are called mineral based industries. Can you name some industries that would fall in this category? Iron and steel industry. The iron and steel industry is the basic industry since all the other industries, heavy, medium, and light, depend on it for their machinery. Steel is needed to manufacture a variety of engineering goods, construction material, defense, medical, telephonic, scientific equipment, and a variety of consumer goods. Production and consumption of steel is often regarded as the index of a country's development. Iron and steel is a heavy industry because all the raw materials as well as finished goods are heavy and bulky, entailing heavy transportation costs. Iron ore, coking coal, and limestone are required in the ratio of approximately 4:2:1. Some quantities of manganese are also required to harden the steel. Where should the steel plants be ideally located? Remember that the finished products also need an efficient transport network for their distribution to the markets and consumers. In 2019, with 111 million tons of crude steel production, India ranked second among the world crude steel producers. It is the largest producer of sponge iron. In 2019, per capita consumption of finished steel in the country was only around 74.3 kg per annum against the world average of 229.3 kg. Why is the per capita consumption of steel so low in India? Many steel plants are smaller, have electric furnaces, use steel scrap and sponge iron. They have re-rollers that use steel ingots as well. They produce mild and alloy steel of given specifications. An integrated steel plant is large, handles everything in one complex from putting together raw material to steel making, rolling and shaping. Most of the public sector undertakings market their steel through Steel Authority of India Limited, that is SAIL. In the 1950s, China and India produced almost the same quantity of steel. Today, China is the largest producer of steel. China is also the world's largest consumer of steel. Chota Nagpur Plateau region has the maximum concentration of iron and steel industries. It is largely because of the relative advantages this region has for the development of this industry. These include low cost of iron ore, high grade raw materials in proximity, cheap labor, and vast growth potential in the home market. Though India is an important iron and steel producing country in the world, yet we are not able to perform to our full potential largely due to A. High costs and limited availability of coking coal, B. Lower productivity of labor, C. Irregular supply of energy, and D. Poor infrastructure. We also import good quality steel from other countries. However, the overall production of steel is sufficient to meet our domestic demand. Liberalization and foreign direct investment have given a boost to the industry with the efforts of private entrepreneurs. There is a need to allocate resources for research and development to produce steel more competitively. Aluminium smelting. Aluminium smelting is the second most important metallurgical industry in India. It is light, resistant to corrosion, a good conductor of heat, malleable, and becomes strong when it is mixed with other metals. It is used to manufacture aircraft, utensils, and wires. it has gained popularity as a substitute of steel, copper, zinc, and lead in a number of industries. Aluminium smelting plants in the country are located in Odisha, West Bengal, Kerala, Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu. Bauxite, the raw material used in the smelters, is a very bulky, dark reddish colored rock. The flowchart given below shows the process of manufacturing aluminium, regular supply of electricity, and an assured source of raw material at minimum cost are the two prime factors for location of the industry. Chemical industries. The chemical industry in India is fast growing and diversifying. It comprises both large and small scale manufacturing units. Rapid growth has been recorded in both inorganic and organic sectors. Inorganic chemicals include sulfuric acid, which is used to manufacture fertilizers, synthetic fibers, plastics, adhesives, paints, dyestuffs, nitric acid, alkalis, soda ash, which is used to make glass, soaps and detergents, paper, and caustic soda. These industries are widely spread over the country. Why do you think it is so? Organic chemicals include petrochemicals, which are used for manufacturing of synthetic fibers, synthetic rubber, plastics, dyestuffs, drugs, and pharmaceuticals. Organic chemical plants are located near oil refineries or petrochemical plants. The chemical industry is its own largest consumer. Basic chemicals undergo processing to further produce other chemicals that are used for industrial application, agriculture, or directly for consumer markets. Make a list of the products you are aware of. Fertilizer industry. The fertilizer industry is centered around the production of nitrogenous fertilizers, which is mainly urea, phosphatic fertilizers, and ammonium phosphate, which is DAP, and complex fertilizers, which have a combination of nitrogen, phosphate, and potash. The third, that is potash, is entirely imported as the country does not have any reserves of commercially usable potash or potassium compounds in any form. After the Green Revolution, the industry expanded to several other parts of the country. Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, and Kerala contribute towards half of the fertilizer production. Other significant producers are Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Rajasthan, Bihar, Maharashtra, Assam, West Bengal, Goa, Delhi, Madhya Pradesh, and Karnataka. Cement industry. Cement is essential for construction activity such as building houses, factories, bridges, roads, airports, dams, and for other commercial establishments. This industry requires bulky and heavy raw materials like limestone, silica, and gypsum. Coal and electric power are needed apart from rail transportation. The industry has strategically located plants in Gujarat that have suitable access to the market in the Gulf countries. The first cement plant was set up in Chennai in 1904. After independence, the industry expanded. Improvement in the quality has found the produce a readily available market in East Asia, Middle Asia, Africa, and South Asia, apart from a large demand within the country. This industry is doing well in terms of production as well as export. Efforts are being made to generate adequate domestic demand and supply in order to sustain this industry. Automobile industry. Automobiles provide vehicle for quick transport of goods, services, and passengers. Trucks, buses, cars, motorcycles, scooters, three-wheelers and multi-utility vehicles are manufactured in India at various centers. After the liberalization, the coming in of new and contemporary models stimulated the demand for vehicles in the market, which led to healthy growth of the industry, including passenger cars, two and three-wheelers. The industry is located around Delhi, Gurugram, Mumbai, Pune, Chennai, Kolkata, Lucknow, Indore, Hyderabad, Jamshedpur, and Bangalore. Information technology and electronics industry. The electronics industry covers a wide range of products from transistor sets to television, telephones, cellular telecom, telephone exchange, radars, computers, and many other equipments required by telecommunication industry. Bangalore or Bengaluru has emerged as the electronic capital of India. Other important centers for electronic goods are Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Pune, Chennai, Kolkata, Lucknow, and Coimbatore. The major industry concentration is at Bangalore, Noida, Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, and Pune. A major impact of this industry has been on employment generation. The continuing growth in the hardware and software is the key to success of IT industry in India. Industrial pollution and environmental degradation. Although industries contribute significantly to India's economic growth and development, the increase in pollution of land, water, air, noise and resulting degradation of environment that they have caused cannot be overlooked. Industries are responsible for four types of pollution: A. Air, B. Water, C. Land and D. Noise. The polluting industries also include thermal power plants. Air pollution is caused by the presence of high proportion of undesirable gases such as sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide. Airborne particulate materials contain both solid and liquid particles like dust, sprays, mists, and smoke. Smoke is emitted by chemical and paper factories, brick kilns, refineries, and smelting plants, and burning of fossil fuels in big and small factories that ignore pollution norms. Toxic gas leaks can be very hazardous with long-term effects. Are you aware of the Bhopal gas tragedy that occurred? Air pollution adversely affects human health, animals, plants, buildings, and the atmosphere as a whole. Water pollution is caused by organic and inorganic industrial wastes and effluents discharged into rivers. The main culprits in this regard are paper, pulp, chemical, textile and dyeing, petroleum refineries, tanneries and electroplating industries that let out dyes, detergents, acids, salts and heavy metals like lead and mercury pesticides, fertilizers, synthetic chemicals with carbon, plastics and rubber etc. into the water bodies. Fly ash, phosphogypsum and iron and steel slags are the major solid wastes in India. Thermal pollution of water occurs when hot water from factories and thermal plants is drained into rivers and ponds before cooling. What would be the effect on aquatic life? Wastes from nuclear power plants, nuclear and weapon production facilities cause cancers, birth defects and miscarriages. Soil and water pollution are closely related. Dumping of wastes, especially glass, harmful chemicals, industrial effluents, packaging, salts, and garbage renders the soil useless. Rainwater percolates to the soil, carrying the pollutants to the ground, and the groundwater also gets contaminated. Noise pollution not only results in irritation and anger, it also causes hearing impairment, increased heart rate, and blood pressure, among other physiological effects. Unwanted sound is an irritant and a source of stress. Industrial and construction activities, machinery, factory equipment, generators, saws, and pneumatic and electric drills also make a lot of noise. Control of environmental degradation. Every liter of wastewater discharged by our industry pollutes 8 times the quantity of fresh water. How can the industrial pollution of fresh water be reduced? Some suggestions are: first, minimizing the use of water for processing by reusing and recycling it in 2 or more successive stages. Second, harvesting of rainwater to meet water requirements. Third, treating hot water and effluents before releasing them in rivers and ponds. Treatment of industrial effluents can be done in 3 phases. First, primary treatment by mechanical means. This involves screening, grinding, flocculation, and sedimentation. Second, secondary treatment by biological process. Third, tertiary treatment by biological, chemical, and physical processes. This involves recycling of wastewater. Overdrawing of groundwater reserves by industry where there is a threat to groundwater resources also needs to be regulated legally. Particulate matter in the air can be reduced by fitting smokestacks to factories with electrostatic precipitators, fabric filters, scrubbers, and inertial separators. Smoke can be reduced by using oil or gas instead of coal in factories. Machinery and equipment can be used and generators should be fitted with silencers. Almost all machinery can be redesigned to increase energy efficiency and reduce noise. Noise absorbing material may be used apart from personal use of earplugs and earphones. The challenge of sustainable development requires integration of economic development with environmental concerns. NTPC shows the way. NTPC is a major power providing corporation in India. It has ISO certification for EMS, that is Environment Management System 14001. The corporation has a proactive approach for preserving the natural environment and resources like water, oil, and gas and fuels in places where it is setting up power plants. This has been possible through A. Optimum utilization of equipment, adopting latest techniques and upgrading existing equipment. B. Minimizing waste generation by maximizing ash utilization. C. Providing green belts for nurturing ecological balance and addressing the question of special purpose vehicles for afforestation. D. Reducing environmental pollution through ash pond management, ash water recycling system, and liquid waste management. E. Ecological monitoring, reviews, and online database management for all its power stations. Here, our chapter is complete. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day ahead.